Hey guys, welcome back to Angel Angela. And on this topic, I wanted to talk to you guys about when the empath is alone with the devil. When the empath is alone with the devil. See, there comes a point in time that you realize that this isn't normal, that there's evil out there. You get it, you know. But why is this evil trying to get you? You feel like you're in a horror movie. You feel like this evil's trying to break into your house. Everywhere you go, you feel like you have to look over your shoulder. You know, you're driving and next thing you know, a zombie just jumps on your window. You're coming to the conclusion that this is something more demonic, right? You'll tell the narcissist, you're the devil. You're the devil's child. You're Satan himself. Or the narcissist will tell you who they are. Yeah, I'm Chucky. I'm the devil. I'm Satan. I'm a psychopath. They're telling you who they are. Especially when they're angry, when they're upset, they're telling you who they are, what they're about. They're telling you, I know what you see, my human form. This is what you think I'm this flesh. I'm not this flesh. I know what you think I look like. I know you think I'm just a nobody, a broke boy. You think I'm broke. You think I have nothing. I'm nothing. You don't know what's underneath all of this. Just like when you discover who you are as an empath, you realize that your energy and your spirit is above your physical form. Your physical form is just a shell. Once you really completely understand that, and then you think about the things the narcissist said, how they perfectly described the spirit that's in them, and admit it to you that they know. And when you realize that they told you certain things, you realize that there was more to it. There's more to it. And, I had dreams where I'm coming to the realization, like, there's more to this. This is something bigger. This is something, if he's been awake and I'm barely waking up and he's been awake this whole time, maybe there's something that I don't know. Maybe I'm missing certain pieces and I'm jumping into conclusions. So you try to figure out the narcissist. You try to understand them. They've already showed you that there's something wicked within them, but now you're trying to understand them. You're trying to change them. You think that maybe they need love. You're like, maybe they need love, until you realize that they don't appreciate any of that because they tried to destroy you. So in my experience, I started to see the physical form as not being them anymore. And the moment that I started to think like that, I started to see the spiritual form. See, now looking back now, the shadow self, I thought the shadow self is something else besides the narcissist. But looking at certain pictures, how his eyes glowed the same way I saw those glowing eyes in that shadow, I said to myself, no, that's not two different beings. That's him. That's him. That's him in everyone. That's him. That's the same type of entity, and it gets in every person. And this is why you start to feel like you're in a horror movie and you have to watch your back. And now you're like, there's zombies everywhere because you don't know if they're real people or if they're fake people. And most of them, they start to show you that they're narcissistic. And sometimes it's like you could breadcrumb just to see, let me just test these people out. And then you see the evil right away, or if they see a vulnerability, a weakness, if they feel like they've gotten you to show your other side, they feel like, okay, I know what your other side is about, and now I'm going to use my cards that I have laid out in front of me to get you back. All I have to do is get you to play the game. And once you play your cards, if you play any card, then I can go next. That's how that devil thinks. So, when you're away from the people who you have certified in your life as narcissist, you'll go out and it seems like certain narcissists, whether they're successful, whether they're doing well, or whether they're on the street, it's like they know something that you don't know. Some of them even talk to themselves and they walk by you and they just start saying certain things that make sense to you. And you're thinking to yourself, did that person go through what I went through, or is that message for me? Right? It feels like every time someone tries to antagonize you, they get this little smirk in their face. Like, I got you. And then eventually you stand on what you know, because you feel like God has presented himself in human form as well through people. So then you're like, well, if God works this way and he works this way, or who's who? Is this just, the universe trying to get justice for what I've done or the past, or what is it? What is it? You're trying to understand it, but there's something there. That devil is there. So sometimes you end up in situations where you go and you're trying to get peace of mind, and someone appears to you, someone you've seen before, and you'll tell yourself, no, I've seen that person before. Small world, we're bumping into each other and I recognize them. And it's like, you almost feel like you need to talk to this person, or you almost feel like that person needs to talk to you or something. At least that's what happened to me. And when I started talking to this person and I looked in their eyes, they had the same eyes that I saw in the narcissist. Once I started waking up and I started to, kind of just study them. And not only that, but when I went back to certain pictures, I started to see the blasphemy, like me growing up in the church, and him wanting to take a picture in front of my grandmother's altar. She had an altar set up with her candles, and she didn't know this, but he asked me, he was like, I want to take a picture in front of this altar. So now looking back, it's like, it was blasphemous, because to him, it's like, okay, you learned about God through this person, but I'm going to take this person away from you. I'm going to make you see this person as a devil, and I'm going to fog up your perception on God. And here I am standing in front of this altar, blocking anything that you once believed. Here I am. This is me coming into your world, and I'm vanishing your world away. That's how I viewed the picture, because looking at it, it's like everything in my childhood is in that picture, and the narcissist is right there in the front. And I could see the look in his eyes, like he felt like he was God. And I wasn't thinking anything of it once the picture was taken. So that same look that was in that picture, when he revealed himself to me and I told him, I said, Whose side are you on? Are you with God or are you with the devil? Because when he walked in, right before he walked in and he wanted to have a conversation with me, I knew he was there outside before he even had got to the door, because I felt like dark energy. I felt a shadow running. And I said, oh, that's him. And then I knew I was going to allow him in. And I said to him, who do you believe in? And he just gives me this blank look, this really blank look. And he said, you should know by now whose side I'm on. If you're tormenting someone, then obviously you're not with God. God doesn't torment people like that. And someone who believes in God, you're just always going to hear it in their voice that they're never going to be afraid to say they love God. Like you because you realize when God pushed through for you. So you're like, even when I make bad choices and I get back bad karma for those choices, I don't blame God, because God already taught me. It's something within me, that the sickness within me that keeps doing the same thing over and over again. And that's because you've been bitten by this narcissist venom, So when you realize, okay, this person, they're not good. This is not a good person. Like, they can sit here and tell me what I want to hear, but when they're telling me what I want to hear, I know it's fake. There's no fooling me anymore. I know it's fake, and actually, you're insulting my intelligence, and now it's frankly pissing me off, right? The narcissist knows when they've gotten on your last nerve. So they keep pushing your buttons when they know you're at your breaking point. They want you literally to go insane. And when I left that situation and I ran into someone and I looked in their eyes, and me and that person had a conversation, and this was, years later. I'm already living in a world where I understand that certain things are spiritual. And when I had a conversation with this person, I knew that I had to have that conversation, if it makes sense. I knew that it was mandatory for me to listen to that person. And because of the direction my life, was headed, because of my own anger, because of the things, this is why I spoke on anger yesterday, because on things that, you react and then you can't ever take it back. So when I had this conversation with this person basically was telling me about how everything is a choice. And once you make that choice, like, that's it, right? And I'm kind of like, well, why does it have to be like that? And they basically told me that they believed, in the devil, and that this world is nothing but density. It's nothing but darkness. It's nothing but, it's like everything the energy is dark. So when you do have light, you attract darkness, so that darkness wants you to do certain things. And when you don't know what's going on, you're still shining bright. But once you know, that's when they really start attacking you. And that's when that darkness is attacking you in a very deep way, because it's like it comes to you and it almost knows what it's doing. It's like it has that smirk on its face, right? And your inner self will tell you, don't do it. Don't do it. That person's trying to get you mad so you can do this or you could do that, and then they could do this. Your inner self will tell you right before they get to your breaking point. Your inner self will tell you, just back up. I know you're upset, but you need to back up, because this energy is trying to finish you off. Its density is dark over here. This person's dark. It's like there's all these people that are just, you don't know who's real, and then boom, someone comes because they sniffed something in you. They think they're better. And you already know that. You sense it within them. You could sense their hate, their jealousy, whatever their emotion is. You know something's off because now you're intuitive. You're like, you're already knowing this person's the devil. The devil knows that you know that it's the devil. That the devil knows. It's like, I know you know, but who's going to conquer? Because the moment that I do something, guess what? You're going to feel like, seize him, seize her. When someone does something to you, you know this is the war of the mind. So your mind will tell you, don't do it. This person wants you to do something to them. That's why they're messing with you. They're ready for you. They want to go back and forth with you, right? But your mind, your mind will tell you that, but your body, your heart will start beating fast. Everything in your body is telling you that it's being under attack by someone. So your body is like, seize him, seize her. And that's what the devil wants. Because that's how the devil wins. Because when you're saying, seize him, seize her, you're not understanding that the person that you're trying to seize they're not even a real person. You're basically trying to destroy the devil, and the devil cannot be destroyed. So that's basically what this video is basically about. It's like, you can't feed into it anymore. Like the times that we're in, I had many dreams, and I know that this is why a lot of the things that are happening, I already knew certain things were going to happen. And honestly, you guys, it's scary. It's very, very scary. It's not even like, you can't play with the devil, You think you can outsmart him, but he'll just always come in a very sneaky way. And because of this, you'll think to yourself, well, I can't trust anyone. I can't trust people. I can't, they want, and when that happens, or when you're alone, that devil is dancing. It's happy. Because it knows that whether you're around people or you're alone, it feels like, well, if you're alone, it's going to be even easier because I can get to you quicker, because I know that eventually you'll become lonely, or you'll destroy yourself because you'll start to hate yourself. You'll start to hate yourself, so you won't care about the choices you make. So that devil, it's very sneaky, conniving, because it wants to know your every move. So all when you seclude yourself, all it's doing is it's pissed off. It forgets about you for a while. Yeah, for a while it forgets about you. Like, oh, this person, they don't want to play. And if they can't figure it out, then they're like, I'm gonna come back, and when I come back, or I'm gonna use time. I'm gonna let you enjoy, certain people in your life, but in time I'm coming back, and I'm gonna take those people away, So that devil is always thinking about things, to do to you, and you'll take it out on certain people because, like I said, you'll think to yourself, seize him, and that person is just being controlled. So you have to think about it that way. Everyone around you is being controlled. People are always on their phones. They're always on social media. They're always trying to see the next best thing. People's conversations are being heard, hacked. Not everyone thinks they've been hacked. Some people have been hacked and they don't even know it. So that energy is everywhere. And the more you see it, the more energy you give to it, the more it gets attracted to you, and now it's attracted to taking your light. And that's why you can't hear no evil, you can't see no evil, you can't speak no evil, because if you do, here it comes. Have you ever noticed that You could be positive in a work environment, and then soon as you and your coworker get into it, now you have other coworkers that don't get along with you. All of a sudden they're giving you, you used to say hi to them all the time, and now they're not saying hi to you anymore, or they're not as talkative with you anymore. And then next thing you know, other things start happening, and it just keeps, and even if you avoid it, it just keeps escalating, especially if you feed into it. But if you go and you're the bigger person, and you give the narcissist the energy that they want, and they can tell when you're pretending too, and that could piss them off. So if they feel like it's genuine, then yeah, you're off the map for a while. They're like, "Oh, I'm not going to mess with you for a while, but I know eventually I can catch you slipping." And most of the times, if things get worse, they just keep getting so bad, to the point that as soon as you walk through the door, the frequency is just all the way whacked out, meaning that this has become a hot spot, and you have to get away from it. You have to get away, or it's just going to keep getting worse. So this is why it's very important to understand the devil's tricks, and understand that you cannot retaliate with anyone around you at all. It doesn't matter who, because at the end of the day, imagine the devil talking to you through someone else's body, and you're getting into a fight argument with this person, and then the devil's like, "Okay, I win. I'm gonna go to someone else's body now," and now that person is feeling hurt. That person is like, "Why did they're making up stories." You're like, "That's not even what happened." They have their own version of what happened, and you're like, "That's not what happened." And then you're like, "Well, is that person wrong, or am I wrong? Did the devil make me perceive something in a way that it wasn't?" In a way that it wasn't, and I'm the one who tripped out because of my own thoughts, and they controlled my body? Or was it the other person? So now, it's easy to blame people, but what if your own thoughts before it happened, was the reason the devil felt like that was the right opportunity to do so? So you're trying to destroy someone, and then now this spirit, it's in someone else, and it's like, haha, got you. And now you feel bad. You don't feel good about yourself, and then you blame yourself because you know that you should have never even fed into it, or you could have handled it different. And you're like, well, at that moment, I just felt like I had to get it out of my system. So, this is what happens when the devil reveals itself to you, when, the mask slips and there's no putting it back. There's no, you can't see the world the way certain people see it anymore. And and you also know that you don't know everything. There's so much more. And it's the only way it's going to come to you is through experience, through situations. So this is what happens when you're dancing with the devil, you guys. And this is what happens when the devil reveals himself to you. I hope that this video was helpful. I'm sending you guys lots of love, light, peace, and your healing. If you guys enjoyed this topic, do not forget to like, share, subscribe if you guys are new. And if you guys want to book a session with me, my booking information will be on the description. Just give me about 24 hours to respond to you. As always, sending you guys lots of love. Bye.